So here's our teacher, Becky.
Yeah.
And Becky is on the phone, but I've got your picture up, Becky. So
Really? Okay.
could you share with us just a couple of quick thoughts about what the goal and purpose is for your Sunday school class with the little children this fall?
Okay. Well, what we want to do is to try to help the kids appreciate and experience love of our world and all of God's creation. And this includes love of family, friends, and neighbors. So we'll be reading two scriptures. One is the creation story, and we're going to use a beautifully illustrated children's book. It's called God Made the World. It's actually good for any age, and it's by Matthew Turner. And I really like it because it supports the scientific timeline of evolution, but in a fun way. And the other one is The Prodigal Son, and it'll help us get into talking about love of people. We'll read several secular children's books and talk about them. One is a lovely book that was highly recommended called Love Makes a Family by Sophie Beer. We hope to send out craft materials ahead of time for simple projects that can be completed before class. And one example is that we were thinking of making heart sticks. And you may wonder what heart sticks are, but they're hearts that you can hold up at the end of a stick. And then one thing that we wanted to use them for was that the kids could wave them when they hear about love in a story. And we also want to encourage them to feel gratitude and to think about ways to show their love of Earth and people around them. So we'll be talking about that, ways they can show that they love their parents and other people. We intend to have several different activities each class to keep them engaged, including yoga and active singing. So we're really looking forward to spending some time with parents and kids this Sunday mornings this fall. Hope we get some folks coming. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Becky. Let's move on. And Trent, would you be willing to share a couple thoughts about what your purpose or goal is for teaching Sunday school for the older kids this fall?
Hey, Chelsea, can we just recap what the younger kids and the older kids, what age groups are we talking about?
Oh, great question. So Trent's like, yeah, heck if I know. This year, based on the demographics of our church, we have ages 0 through 2nd grade in Becky's class, and then ages 3 through 6th grade in Trent's class, and then youth group is grades 6 through 12.
Okay.
Did you mean to include 6 twice?
Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead, Trent.
So they have a choice?
Exactly.
So we're going to, it's kind of interesting. We're going to do, of course, we're going to meet outside. We're going to try to learn what we learned from the summer about being outside, and that, of course, will change things a little bit. We're going to do similar background that was just discussed. We're actually going to be doing the beginning of Genesis for the first 2 classes and the prodigal son for the next 2. And it's kind of interesting. I've always had mixed feelings about the beginning of Genesis with kids, because it's like, what do you do? You know, there's the, do you get into the, this is allegory and what it means, as opposed to like a factual story, and that can be a little hard. You know, it can be a little challenging for kids. Hey there, it's nice to see somebody on here. It's nice to see a face I haven't seen in so long. And,
hi.
Hi. And so I'm kind of excited about it. Chelsea and I've done a little brainstorming, and it's kind of interesting. We're gonna do in the first Genesis piece, we're gonna do a little about Adam and Eve, and we'll be talking about like why we talk about this story. Why has this story been down there in the Bible. What's the point? What does it mean to people? And then we're going to talk about creation, and we're going to do something. We're going to Chelsea called it a Big Bang duet. You know, one of the things I noticed years ago that kind of surprised me when we were doing this is I noticed that almost everything in one of the creation stories in Genesis is exactly in the right order. And it is the odds of that are just fantastic. It is just impossible that they are exactly in the right order, and which really has been bending my mind for quite a few years. And so we're going to go through, and I think Chelsea will read the piece out of Genesis, and then I will read the corresponding, you know, the view of science in terms of what happened. And so we're going to go back and forth between Genesis and science and talk about how they actually work together, and then talk about the meaning and talk about, you know, responsibility we have as stewards of the planet. So that's kind of the first piece, and then we'll hit the prodigal son, which is really an interesting and can be a challenging story for some people. I'm excited to do this. We're gonna, one of them, I think if we pull it off, we were thinking of not actually doing it at the church, but going up on one of the benches so we could look out over the valley too, and kind of talk a little about history, both geologic, evolution of plants and animals, and also creation, and kind of mix them all together. And we'll do it in a way that's not confusing like I just did.
Mm-hmm. And the younger children will be on Zoom, is the plan right now. I didn't say that.
Yes, yes. So younger kids will probably start online, and then the older Sunday school, we're going to be starting in person outdoors. So thank you so much, Trent.
One thing I didn't say that we probably should say about format is we're going to be doing, first we're going to check in. So it'll be give a chance for the kids to kind of catch up with each other, talk about what's going on or whatever. Then we're going to do a story, and then we're going to do an activity that hopefully is physical. And so we'll have physical and creative. And so we'll have those three elements as part of it.
Great. All right, Kyla, would you like to share about middle school and high school youth group, combined youth group this fall?
Sure. So Kate and I are excited to be leading this group. And first of all, we just really want to provide support for the youth as we're dealing with our new kind of how things are happening, and help them, you know, hopefully help them adapt with what's going on. And then our focus of youth group this year, and this was from a survey that we got back from a lot of the youth, that they were interested in racial justice, social justice, and providing service. So we'll be doing a hybrid of online, in-person, and working on the social justice. And then hopefully at some point we can do some service activities and projects. So we'll be looking in and seeing, you know, what some that maybe we could start now while we're still wearing masks and all that. But hopefully by spring we can do some other activities. And that's about it.